Okay, so we can also come in and we can take scanned images and turn them into brushes as well. So same type of thing, we would come in and we would make a selection of the object and then turn it into, go to edit, define brush preset. So I have this image, this scanned image. Actually, and this isn't even scanned, I actually did this in Sketches on my iPad. It's an app. And I did these different watercolor stains, pastel, um, in Sketches. So it's actually a really cool app. Okay, so here goes. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to duplicate my layer just because then I have two copies. And actually I can even see my layer information from inside of this program that I was working in. So here we go. I'm going to come on up into here and I'm going to see what's on this layer. Okay, so I'm going to start up in here. I'm going to start with this guy right here. It's going to be super easy to make a selection. Actually, I can even turn this off right here, but let's say that you had that white on there. Again, come in, make a selection. Again, come on in, edit, define brush preset. Okay. Again, I can come on in over here. I'm going to select deselect. So once I do my selection, I can come in, select deselect. Again, I'm going to grab my quick selection. Now, let's talk about the quick selection for a minute. We can set the pixel size if we'd like to. I go a little bit bigger, go a little bit smaller. So I can come on in here. Now, again, if I want to add to this, I can. I can hold down Shift to add to this. Let's see here. It's not quite letting me add to it, which is interesting. Let's see. So actually what I would do with that case is I'm going to actually do a mask. But this is the problem with this. Okay, so as we start looking at this, see the color red isn't going to work because this is red. So I'm going to double click and I'm going to change the color here. This will be a perfect example. I'm going to go for this blue. Okay, I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to click this one more time and I want to add to this. So I'm going to do a quick selection. I'm going to come to my brush tool. I'm going to change this up. Come to this guy. I'm going to put white up on top. And I want to include this part, even though there's not much there. Okay, now I'm going to come back in and actually, I got too much here. So I'm going to come back in. I'm going to zoom in. This is the beautiful thing about zooming. I love the hand as well. So when you zoom to our zoom tools right in here, so you can get a really good sense of what it is that we want. So again, I can see that there's that blue right in there. I'm going to put the black up on top, make my brush a little bit smaller. I can do that up in here. I can also use the curly brackets. All right, so lots of possibilities. Now, the good news actually is that this is actually transparent around here, so it's not going to be that big of a deal. Even if I leave it like this, I'm going to put this, I want that part in there too, because it is all just transparent. Even though I'm seeing that white actually isn't even there. So I'm going to come back in. I want to add this in right there. Okay. So I'm going to come on in here. I'm going to put on this. I'm going to say edit, define brush preset. I'm going to hit OK. All right, and there I have it. Now, I'm going to take this, and again, so when we're making our brushes, they will always be loaded. So I've just made these two brushes, and they're always going to be loaded in my brushes. So I'm going to come on over. I'm going to come back to the one that I was working with when we first opened up here. Where is it? Where is it? All right, actually, no, I can really do any of these. All right, so let me change the color. Maybe I want to choose, I could come on in here. Again, I'm going to do a layer up on top. I could even make this a little bit bigger. Start doing these like watercolor stains over top of my image. Now, this is the story. When we go to find our image, sometimes I always find that a little bit tricky. So you have to kind of, you can hover. I named this one. I didn't name either of them. I should have. But I can see that if you watched my earlier video that I named this one right in here. So I could come in, I named this one Succulent. And then these guys I didn't name, which maybe I should have. I can change the color of them. Can even make it a little bit bigger. Now, one thing we want to be careful of, when we start to make it bigger, sometimes we run the risk of making it pixelated. But lots and lots of possibilities. Now you can see that the way these appear, they appear almost like these stains. Again, they're being done over top of photographs. If I was to come on in and just open a new file, File New, I'm going to hit OK. I want to have a white background. Now I'll be able to say that's what it looks like. And this is what this one looks like. So what's really kind of cool about this is we can come in, we can make it any color we want it to be. And what's cool is we can reuse it. That's what I really love about the brushes, is the fact that we can reuse them. So now I just made it really big. Again, we run the risk when we do that of it getting a little bit pixelated. We get in closer, I can see a little bit of pixelation. So if we can start with it larger, we're always better off. Again, we can come on in and working with our brushes if we'd like to. We can up the spacing, we can flip it around. So we have different parts coming in at different areas. Again, I could take this image, put this image in the center, and when we see it in the white background, we can get us more of a sense of what it is that we are seeing. So there we have it. Thanks so much.